Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, that's okay.
The old old
also,
Sony.
You would think I would be a little more mechanically inclined. Well, maybe you wouldn't think that.
You know what? After doing this for 30 years, 2 weeks ago, I'll go to put my headphones on, and they do this move where they'll slip out of your hands, and especially now I'm using beard oil a lot, and they'll just slap you right in the. It give you a black eye, because it's
Ooh.
I still do it.
And if a woman has a black eye, your husband's screwed.
Yeah.
Even if it's from headphones.
Yeah. And whatever, if you showed up with a black eye, we're like,
does
she know about relationships?
Would you laugh? You would laugh though, right? If I came in with a black eye, you would be like, ah.
But if I do, that's the first thing everyone's gonna. Or maybe that's just where my mind goes.
Oh no, it's every.
That's a great band name, Black Eye Therapist, not Black Guy Therapist.
It's also
that would be a good band name too.
It's the trashiest injury to have. No matter like female, you're thinking domestic violence, but male, you're like you get in a bar fight.
You look like a loser.
Yeah. He's like, you're like, why do you have a black eye? And it's something
for girls.
You shouldn't get over the age of 25.
Like my wife got a flu shot, so she had this insane bruise on her arm, and I'm like, oh man, it looks really bad.
Yeah, you're screwed.
Yeah,
Everyone's
it definitely looks like I've been pushing her around. It's bad. All right, here we go. I just got to turn off my synth music here.
Yeah, arm bruises mean your husband's shaking your...
Or thigh bruise.
if you got it on the throat, there's just no doing.
I had a hickey on my throat one time, years and years ago, and it looked horrible.
Oh, God, remember hickey?
Yeah, that's when we used to suck on each other. We don't do that anymore. It's not in right now.
We don't do that anymore.
All right, Tom, would you like to start?
Yes.
You know how to do this because you started every time, and I think that's good. It's been working out good. All right, here we go. And 3, 2.
Welcome to Love Thy Neighbor, a relationship show. With us, as always, on the couch, Colette Fair, longtime relationship expert and therapist. How you doing, Colette?
I'm great.
Daniel Dennis is here.
Yes, sir. Good to be here again, and happy to all the new listeners, or happy to meet, rather, I should say, all the new listeners that have have come and said they really like the show and they love Colette and they put up with you and I. That's what I've heard, is that like there's two teenage boys that laugh and have fun while they talk with the professional. Do you want to address that?
Colette,
you know what? I'm going to let Tom address this quickly. And then we'll do some good. We'll do some good in the world.
Because we've done a lot of marketing with this show, and thanks to everybody who's listening.
Appreciate you.
Elevated this particular podcast up to the top 50 in the world for a self-help podcast.
I may even have a screenshot of us kissing the 30s, but I got to double check. Yeah. Somebody said, we got into the top 30s.
Yeah, and then
amazing.
A well-respected professional in this community sent the show to her friend, and then they're like, oh, they love it. Colette's great, and the two guys are like teenage boys, but they're funny. And then I was like, teenage boys. I was like, I thought every man had my maturity level because that's what I see out there. All my friends are like teenage boys. I guess there's some like doctors and lawyers in town.
I mean, it's funny because there are times when I do still see myself as a teenage boy.
I think there's a lot of men who are there with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not alone.
I would
That's
say
a problem.
I would say that a lot of men have. How do I explain this? How do I articulate this? Poles. Like, we're more mature polarity. What I mean by that is I swing pretty hard, like I can be very mature and be a husband and a dad, but I love just goofing around like a teenage boy. I love firecrackers, set things on fire, BB guns, fart jokes.
I guess when you're just trying to be funny, it goes back to teenage boy. Like, there's no way to be funny and mature.
Well, it's a hard mix, and what we're trying to do, right? Okay, so let's analyze it even further. I think it's a testament to what the three of us are trying to do, because we're trying to take real things that people don't want to talk about sometimes because they do make you uncomfortable, and you and I are really trying to throw some humor in there to make you guys understand that we all deal with this. It is not weird. Take the stigma away, and let's share these things. And the best way to do that for me, it is my defense mechanism. So sometimes I do it to a fault, but it's humor, 100%.
And humor's also healthy. It's not only a defense mechanism. I mean, my husband's 62. His sense of humor, I'm always like, wow, you are 13 inside.
He's one of us.
Come on over here, buddy.
He's totally with you.
I love
and
this guy.
He's proud of it.
All right. I am not proud. I am super embarrassed to be like, I'm a grown man.
I mean, when I look at his text, he has a text message thread.
Okay.
He went to University of Kentucky. He's from Kentucky.
All right.
He has a text message thread with all his fraternity brothers. It's called the New Brothers. They're Sigma News.
Okay.
There's like 40 guys on there. The stuff they send back
wow.
and forth, like
God.
the picture. Also, it's very old school mentality. I'm like, some of this, don't let anyone ever see
Oh my God.
what you guys
burn the
are
thread.
sending. It's just very adolescent boy. It's like boobs, fart jokes,
Give me an
dumbest
invite.
stuff. Where my text threads with my friends are about like deep issues, how you're doing emotionally, what's happening in your life, like existential crises.
It's interesting how,
so different.
Because even with my sons, like I try to tell like, girls mature faster, and then I'm like, I should just tell them like, well, that's the way it's always going to be forever. Like you're never going, like they're always going to be more mature than you.
Dude,
you will never reach your partner's emotional.
You'll have a text thread with your Kentucky frat boy friends, and it'll be
They're
horrible.
all going to kill me.
My daughter, she's 10, and I believe it's sometimes she's more mature than me.
Totally.
It
is definitely a stereotype that is fairly accurate.
Which makes relationships difficult sometimes because of that fact, because men and women are, so different sometimes.
No, it really does. And there's a whole thing out there about how women are just fed up with men, especially at midlife, that so many women are saying kind of, I've had it because I can't connect emotionally in a heterosexual relationship to my male partner.
Oh, my wife says that all the time.
I'm
like, what do you want to do? Boobs and farts. That's all I got.
Okay, have you been doing your 6-second kiss? Have you done it at all?
Okay, so let's get into the homework.
I did it 2 seconds.
I did it.
You did it.
And not only did I do it, I did it in front of my daughter, who then questioned. She's like, "What are you guys doing? So I had to tell you that. She's like, ew, what, 6 seconds? And then so we explained it to Maisie. I'm like, it's 6 seconds. It's supposed to build these like relationships, like neural pathways, and it's truly connecting us and releasing like, I'm guessing
Oxytocin.
And Maisie's like, yes, it's gross. She thinks it's gross, but we have been doing it, and it is hard to do.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make sure and tell people that, but you do feel kind of proud. I wouldn't tell anybody, but when you're done with it, you're kind of like, I did it.
You're telling the world right now.
Kissed my wife for 6 full seconds. And we kept our eyes closed. Is that okay?
That's totally
All right.
fine.
We kept our eyes closed.
If you do it, I think it's cumulative. So if you're doing it regularly, first of all, the awkwardness is going to burn off. And you could turn it into like a mini makeout session if it's less awkward to do that than like holding your lips pressed to someone else's lips.
Yeah, so we did it like science nerds. We're just like,
yes, here we are kissing for 6 seconds.
But I will say that was sort of out of respect on my side, and I think Tom will probably, you can help me with this. Andrea is not known. You don't look at Andrea or hear the things that she says and think, makeout wild makeout woman. It's not her vibe.
Yeah.
She's way more, that's just not.
Or she's the logical one. You're the emotional one.
I want to make out. I want to shave your head. I want to let's get goofy in it. No, but so we have been doing it.
Yeah, and I actually love that you did it in front of your daughter and told her what you were doing. Because even though she's going, ew, gross, that's a normal kid reaction, she is still absorbing that modeling of behavior. Like, my parents love each other. They're making their relationship a priority. They're connecting. It's getting in there, and that's really healthy.
I did kind of think of that when it was happening. They were leaving to go somewhere, right? And Andrea reminded me. She's like, 6-second kiss. I'm like, okay. And then, of course, Maisie had questions. So just easier to use it as a teaching moment and mention it to her there. Yeah,
it's great.
Not bad. It's still awkward though, very awkward. I prefer just a standard pet kiss and sex at the end of the night. Just easier for me.
I feel like this particular episode should be about a topic that we got an email about, and you guys were kind of discussing it before our show started, and that's the topic of jealousy.
Yeah, well, this is actually this jealousy deal is from a Reddit thread that we actually had.
Okay.
And I'd sent this to Colette, like a couple of weeks ago or last week or something like that. And this is something that I'm kind of offering myself up here is like, hey, like the easiest things to talk about are some of the things that I think, are inside of me. Let's start, here, right? And then hopefully that'll kind of octopus out to other people, and they'll be like, oh, I feel like Dan sometimes. So the short of the long is there's a Reddit thread that I flagged, and it's a gentleman. He's 44 years old. His wife is 44. She works at an art advisory committee, so she's attending like big galas, big events, huge client meetings as part of her job. She often meets clients for coffee, lunch, dinner, stuff like that, so she's always out. And he says she's always professional, transparent about her friendships. I trust her judgment completely. Recently, she mentioned she's going to a gala with a friend. And this friend is like a wealthy business partner of hers. This wealthy friend has asked to basically have her come as his date for the evening. And the wealthy friend, and this is going to help her within her business. This is going to help the wealthy friend within his business. But she is not. I mean, she's a married woman.
I've seen a movie about this.
Yeah, you have.
There's a proposal.
Indecent, right?
Yeah, you have.
I've always dreamed of that, by the way.
Yeah.
For someone to give $1 million to me to sleep with my wife.
Yeah, because he's like, oh my
So
God,
much.
it's no big deal.
Awesome.
But to me, absolutely huge big deal. So he did ask her, though. He says, is this actually going to be a date? She laughed and said, date doesn't always mean romantic. She said it's important for her to get this good networking in, to meet new people. It's going to be great for her job. So then he continues, and he's kind of spilling his guts to people here a little bit. He says, she's been getting ready since morning, picking her dress, hair, makeup, the whole thing. And man, I don't know why, but I feel more jealous than I think I've ever felt. I feel very uneasy about her going out. Still, it feels strange, but I trust her. I have no reason to doubt her. They're in a committed relationship. They are married. It's kind of like me and Andrea. There's literally nothing there there's no smoke. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
But that jealousy, he can still feel that. So he basically decides that he's just going to, kind of lump it, let her do it. She promises.
Well, wait, does he tell her that he's feeling this way?
Let me see here.
Because I think this is already just like where we are now in the story. First of all, it's a very human moment.
Yeah.
You know, and you mentioned several times, which I think is interesting, wealthy client. You know, so maybe there's something about this particular guy that's just like triggering his insecurities a little bit. Maybe there's something about the fact that she's getting ready with extra care. All of a sudden he finds himself feeling a certain way that he didn't expect to feel. I think that's totally normal, and it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong in the relationship, but I would want that couple to be able to acknowledge, hey, it's not that I don't trust you. I don't have a problem intellectually with you going with this guy, but I find myself feeling a little jealous, and get some reassurance from the wife that there's no fire here, right? There's no fire to the smoke, if you will.
She continues, she says, date doesn't always mean romantic. She said it's important for her for the networking. She smiled and said, if I get into this gala next time, I won't need to take that man with me. I'll take you instead, like kind of a joke.
Right.
And then at the end, he says, I'm not insecure. My wife would kill me, though, if I went on a date with another woman. I could pick one of my friends or even another woman to go out with, but I don't, out of respect for our marriage and love for my wife. It's always about the choices you make and sacrifices you accept. I didn't stop her because I respect her and the opportunity. And she did promise that she would be back by midnight, share her location, all that kind of stuff. So, I have a story similar to this. My wife used to do a lot of like modeling hair shows, and she was in one. And I would go and tag along sometimes. And then the one that I actually went to, she was like super dressed up. She looked super hot and super sexy. And it was like, she was working for Paul Mitchell or something, so it was like a big deal and a massive stage and massive music and a DJ and everything. And she walks out. She walks out with like this really good-looking guy, this model. This guy's like I'm half the size of this guy. Right?
Oh yeah, I'm so much better.
Yeah,
than you.
So much better. I'll just echo what you say. It's just better that way. People understand it. This guy's like 6'5", like he's a chiseled model-looking boy.
Ooh,
Tyrese.
Yeah.
He's Tyrese.
We know who's better than us.
we definitely do.
And a lot of people won't admit it, but you know.
And in modeling, it's intimate. You're walking. They were like, they're playing on the stage. They're walking down the catwalk. They're doing their thing. She's twirling the whole thing. But they have to stay in character. And I remember she was coming down the escalator with her partner for the time. Now, look, this is a modeling gig. She's not dating this guy.
Right.
But she's coming down the escalator at the convention center here in Orlando. And they're holding hands because that was what the prerequisite for all of them, all of the party.
Right, it's the gig.
It's the gig. It's also what the designer of that set wanted them to do. They're supposed to look like that. I did not like that.
Yeah.
I stormed off to my car.
Yeah.
I went and, had to go walk around.
So you're feeling a human emotion. I mean, jealousy means that something or someone feels like a threat to something you have that's important to you. Whereas envy, that people sometimes confuse, is more like, I want what that other person has. So it is not abnormal to feel jealous when you suddenly see your partner in a certain light. I mean, I also think people make the mistake of conflating insecurity, even this guy says it, with jealousy. It doesn't mean you're insecure. Now, some people tend to be more jealous than others, but I'm not insecure. And if my husband were going to an event with a really, really good-looking woman, and there were a reason he had to go for business, I wouldn't stop it, but I probably would feel a little jealous. Now, the difference is, because I do believe in communication and it's what I do for a living, I would acknowledge, I would express to him, I find myself feeling a little jealous, even though I know there's nothing to be worried about here. You feel the way you feel. I mean, it's your nervous system doing what it's designed to do, point you to a potential threat. And it doesn't really matter what you know to be true in your head. Your emotions have their own agenda.
So, Colette, I want to ask you about this because I suffer from almost the exact opposite of this, where I don't have.
This is why I flagged this, man.
Yeah.
I don't have any jealousy at all.
Yeah.
My husband doesn't either.
Which I thought was a good thing because I hear a lot of stories of like couples like, oh, I can't even go out with a work friend, or I can't even have a conversation on Facebook with a male or female.
They're talking about that in the chat room right now.
Because my partner's so jealous that I can't do all this. It's ridiculous. And I've always thought, like, oh, well, that's good. I don't have any of that. So I don't, like, my wife can talk to anybody. Like, go on a date with someone. Like, I have zero jealousy. I don't know. It's just the way my brain is wired. Like,
hence indecent proposal. Welcome.
$1 million,
Yeah.
Colette.
I mean,
I do it too. I do it too.
I was
And
like,
I'm
what
jealous.
do I care?
Can you look at the logical benefits of $1 million?
I mean, I'm totally down with it. Whoever wants to sleep with my husband for $1 million, come to my house.
doesn't
I'll
work
give
the
you
other
my
way.
address. Or me. I'll do it.
Well, then, yeah.
I'm not even
All right,
kidding.
now I'm going to have to go
$1 million.
scrape the email.
No,
now.
we have a whole new problem.
So,
but I'm glad you're saying this,
Yeah.
Tom. I'm glad you're saying this because so some people are more jealous than others. Like my husband doesn't really get jealous. But for the people who are jealous and this issue of I can't even go out with a work friend, I'm saying the feeling of jealousy is normal, but the behaviors of trying to control someone are not what we want to do with our jealousy.
yes. Yeah.
Oh,
No, the
this
controlling issue. Yeah.
This comes back to like when a kid's, like when you deny a kid something and they're sitting in their sadness a little bit. It's okay to be like, hey, what you're feeling because I didn't buy you that toy. Totally cool.
Right.
We're still not buying
but
the toy.
we're still not buying. It's
Yeah.
exactly that.
All right.
So trying to shut down every interaction your partner has with the opposite sex, if you're heterosexual, that is not the answer at all. So I may feel more jealous naturally. It's my personality than my husband does, but I don't prevent him from having female friends or interacting. We have openness, we have trust. And that makes me feel more comfortable. However, there was once a situation where, and it's so interesting because this is almost even a different side of the coin, like a respect issue, where my husband had a good friend at work. They don't work together anymore. This woman was going through a divorce and some stuff in her personal life. They worked very closely together. She wasn't particularly attractive in a way that I felt threatened by or that I felt my husband would be attracted to. So that was not an issue. But she started turning to my husband for everything, like her divorce. He'd be driving home and sitting outside the house finishing a phone call with her. So that started to annoy me. I'm like, get this lady a therapist. Then one night, I sort of have in my mind, like if you have a female friend, you want to go to lunch or maybe you meet for like happy hour, but you're not out till midnight with like another woman.
Oh, yeah.
And he was out till 11 something with this woman one-on-one. And I finally said I had to really process what I felt because
What did that feel like though? Like that because I'm you're bubbling my arm. Like I'm triggered.
Yeah.
You're triggering me.
yeah,
a little
it
bit.
pissed me off.
Yeah, I can.
Is what it felt like.
I'm definitely. I'm more like that because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I can feel it
And
simmering.
mind you, I didn't think anything was going on. I don't think she had bad intentions.
No.
I don't think he had bad intentions. To me, it felt like a respect issue. It felt like it crossed a boundary where I don't think anyone's got malintent or is going to do anything, but I'm not comfortable with my husband going out till 11 something at night with another woman. It just feels like it's crossing a line.
Yes, yeah.
So I put the kibosh.
That's a boundary, right?
Yes,
that you
it's a
need to. Yeah.
boundary.
So my it's interesting because going back to like me not being jealous, I thought that was a good thing. It turns out my wife wants me to be
Right,
jealous.
because it means you care.
That's what she thinks.
Yes.
And now I say that's what she thinks. Like
Because
if
you
this
do
crazy-
care. No, I understand what you mean.
Yes.
It can go both ways. It
So-
can mean my wife is crazy, or it can mean like I care about you. I've
Yeah,
been
yeah,
with you.
yeah.
You're the
Right.
you're my high school sweetheart. I know
And
what
I-
I speak full Tom.
And
Totally.
I trust her so much. I'm like, you'll
Yeah.
never do this.
I
No
just
one's
see
as
the
good
way
as
you
me.
guys talk to each other. No, I see the love. I see it, man.
No,
They are
so-
that movie where the people are connected together.
So
Yeah.
so this is just some advice that I could give. The very limited advice that I could give is I've had to pretend to be jealous before because it makes my wife happy.
Yeah.
And so she probably
That's
even knows.
disgusting.
Yeah, she probably even knows. But like she'll tell me something and I'm like, what? I'll be like, I don't know if I want you going out with this guy. And the whole time
What are you
I'm-
reading it off a note card? Hey there, I don't
I
know.
actually think that's kind of cute.
I don't know if I
It's
want
kinda
you going
cute.
out there showing your getaway sticks to him.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, sometimes I'll throw that in because I'll be like, hey, pretend. Like, I'll put a mental note, like, hey, pretend, like, are you sure you should be going to work dressed like that?
Yeah.
you know, I don't
Fuck
know.
that top button, you floozy.
and then that makes her feel like I like her, and that's what she likes. So
But just to
have,
preface, you do like her. Right?
No,
I always
I
have to. Do you see what I got to do?
Of course I do.
I got to swoop in here.
You've got to translate Tom language.
Clean it up a little.
You know what?
Yeah.
This is so important. Jealousy, people do tend to think that jealousy means the person's really into you, and in a way it's flattering. And unfortunately, this gets a lot of people into very unhealthy relationships. Let's just be very clear. Jealousy, whether you're jealous or not, does not have anything to do with how you feel about your partner. It's your own personality and sometimes your own insecurity, sometimes not always. So it's not really a marker of how, like, you're not going to be a super jealous person in any relationship. It's not a function of how much you love your wife. My husband's not very jealous. One time we were at a bar and I was talking to some guy and he teased me after, you were kind of flirting with that guy. And I was like, ooh, was I? You know, I kind of have a flirtatious personality in general. He wasn't remotely jealous. And I have to remind myself, I know he loves me. It doesn't mean he doesn't care. He's just more like you. Dan, you and I are more alike. I'm going to be jealous. I'm jealous in a relationship where I'm not even that into the guy. So it's more the way you run, the way your personality is. It's not really about your feelings for the other person. And again, if you feel jealous, you feel jealous. In a healthy dynamic, we can acknowledge that because it's a human feeling, sit with it and not try to control our partner. But it is okay to have boundaries.
What's the appropriate amount? I guess that's it's
Ooh,
subjective
I think that's
to
a solid
every
question. Different for everybody.
Different for everybody. Obviously, any extremes of both sides don't seem to be, it's not optimal. So somewhere in the middle. But I guess, is irrational jealousy healthy? Like my wife, for instance, will get insanely she'll have dreams that I cheated on her and then be mad all day at me. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and then
Perfectly normal.
yeah. Like, and then, or like, if my God, if I
Can you
can't
think
even,
of something you've done recently that maybe she was like not, not like.
Or something that like
you're doing
her
the
out.
show with Colette again. She's crazy, Colette. She's crazy.
That hot blonde's in there dishing up her information.
Yeah,
she thinks she's so smart because she has these degrees.
And she works right next door to you.
Yeah.
What are you crazy? But responding like that is not the correct response. Because when I scream you're crazy, that doesn't help.
Yeah,
So
you do that to me sometimes. But I like it. See, that's the dysfunction here. He goes, you're crazy. I'm like,
Never to be said to a woman. Ever.
Yeah, then I high five him.
It's the only thing I can think of. But so what is the correct amount of jealousy?
I mean, I don't think there's a correct amount. I think it's again, some people really, sometimes it is a function of an unspoken insecurity and we need more reassurance, or it's an indication that there aren't clear enough boundaries in a relationship. It's hard. Some jobs, people have to interact with people all the time. Some people have been cheated on and it leaves a really painful wound.
Can I stop you there?
Yeah.
That was, and you'll probably take it from here. That was mine. I had to learn that Andrea is not
your ex.
The ex, or the ex before the ex, because there were 2 times. I had to learn and you helped me with this a lot, because you're like, dude, Andrea is, like, she loves you. Like, what do you, like, you'd be like, what is wrong with you? Like, you gave me you're crazy.
I bet my life she never cheats on you. My life.
No, he would. And I would too. And I would too. But it did take me a minute of listening to people around me and going to therapy and really kind of executing that new thought of, like, dude, what are you doing? This is fake. This is not a real this is it's because those
it's the past coming back to haunt you in the present, and it's challenging.
And let me add to this by saying, on the male side of this thing, we have knowledge that, like, say your wife or girlfriend's friends with a coworker, a male coworker, right? Which is perfectly fine, but in our back of our minds, like, we know how beautiful our wives or girlfriends are, and we're like, that guy has a thought in the back of his head that he wants to get with you sexually.
And
Because
this
that's
comes
all
back to-
all guys think.
Yeah, this comes back to teenage boys on the show. I know what teenage boys think about.
And so then you're constantly like, you're perfectly fine having a friendship that is not like that, but in the back of their mind, he thinks that way. And then when you have that conversation, you're the person's like, no, he doesn't. He doesn't think that way. And then you're like, yes, he does, because I think that way. And you don't want to say that part. So you're like,
you get yourself in trouble.
because I can't be friends with any females because he's saying you think that. But
You are unraveling the yarn ball, sir.
it's complicated in that aspect, right?
It is. And I mean, I think even if men would be open, men have sort of preset desire for sex all the time, right? Where women have to be aroused in order to desire sex.
I'm sorry, what were you saying? I was thinking about sex.
Exactly.
Right.
Thank you. So, I mean, maybe men would be because some people will say men and women can't be friends. I don't think that's true. I don't think that means necessarily that in some friendships, if a woman said, I want to have a sexual relationship with you, that the man wouldn't be down with that. But I think if both people aren't really interested in that and they're both have platonic intentions and good boundaries, they absolutely can be. But the key really is acknowledge your jealousy. Don't fight it. Talk about it and have good boundaries, because so many of us have been cheated on, which doesn't help. I mean, I know that's an issue for me. I would struggle to have a spouse who was like an actor and making out with people or a salesperson. Like, it just would be too threatening.
Or some of the
to me.
things I even say here in like pushing the boundaries or characters stuff. Like we say and do some things in here that I'm very lucky that I have a wife that isn't jealous or
it's
isn't
over the
Likewise.
It is,
Yeah,
I'm very lucky that it went that direction, because if she were not like you, then it wouldn't work.
Oh yeah.
It just wouldn't work.
And I think to the point about it being irrational, it's so subjective, but if you find yourself really, really feeling jealous and threatened, I think it's something to get curious about and ask yourself, is there something going on in the relationship that I'm not comfortable with that I haven't addressed? And if there is, then talk to your partner about it. And again, maybe there's new boundaries that are needed. And if there isn't, then maybe it's a matter of reassuring yourself. Like you're saying, Dan, this isn't the old relationship. I have to remind myself of that too, because I was in a long relationship where I was cheated on. Reassuring yourself and reassurance from your partner. It's okay to feel jealous. It's just not okay to let it control the situation.
Yep, makes sense. Let's move on to another email that we got.
This is an interesting one. This is from our buddy Clay. He says, howdy, Love Thy Neighbor crew. Just curious if you have the answer or explanation about how some couples are able to fall in love and have a relationship when they don't even speak the same language. It boggles my mind, since I get caught not knowing a second language. I lose all my confidence and witness witness somebody trying to communicate with somebody who doesn't understand English. Shout out to U.S. soldiers and Japanese couples. I guess that does happen a lot.
Yeah.
I'm also curious about this, because I've seen
It's like
couples
a science thing, man.
that speak two different languages, and it does blow my mind. I'm like, how is this working?
I got a buddy who from Deland who met a woman, I believe, in the Ukrainian or Russian, and not very limited English. And they are married and happy and doing their thing.
Then I'm like, I wish my wife spoke a different language. That would be awesome.
No talking.
That was so good.
I could connect with that.
Actually, maybe it's better for relationships. So first of all, it's so instinctive what attracts you to someone, so it doesn't surprise me at all. And I just saw something recently that men fall in love more quickly than women, and oftentimes men fall in love before they even get to know a woman because of that instinctive draw, and they sort of idealize her. Yeah, it's so interesting. So doesn't surprise me at all. I also dated somebody many years ago, a soccer player from Sicily who spoke not one word of English.
Oh my God, big salami.
And
I
know we can make a lot of jokes with this one.
It's a reaction. It's a
And I
reaction.
speak
that
very
guy's got wrist.
He does have wrist. He's smoking on the sideline.
He was bringing other things to the table.
Sure.
But honestly, it didn't bother me a bit, and I'm a huge talker. I mean, it's just the feeling, the attraction, the connection.
You scored a lot of points with the Italian soccer player in the chat room. I'll tell you that right now. They love you now.
I mean, it was great. It was great. So it doesn't surprise me a bit.
Interesting.
I mean, that must be a
Body
super
language.
complicated
Smells, body
relationship
language,
to navigate.
eye contact. I'm trying to go through things that I do because I'm sensitive. So I do
Yeah.
recognize these things probably more than you do. Like with Andrea, there's certain things I love, like eye contact with her I love, like especially if we're eating, the way she smells,
Yeah.
but I wonder if those things you don't even need to talk. I mean, that can be the most complicated connection at the end. It's like
Yeah.
all these other
I mean, long term, you'd have
movement.
to find your way to some kind of shared language. And I think these couples do, right? Even if they don't have the same language of origin, you'd find some way to communicate. You know how your partner's facial expressions, or they're finding some way to get through it, but maybe it does in a way make it a little bit easier that you're relying more on your natural instincts than you are on all the BS.
So, Colette, I want to, and this whole thing reminded me of a question I wanted to ask you, is that there's some research that arranged marriages
Yes.
statistically last longer than regular marriages. And
true.
I've always found that fascinating where, like, our decisions to pick a partner are sometimes worse than other people's decisions to put partners together. And I'm like, man, that like already your own brain is almost setting you up for failure in certain instances. Like you're attracted to the wrong person, you're attracted to a person that maybe is not meant for a long-term thing, you know what I'm saying? Like you're kind of sabotaging your own self through your own decisions.
Is it like what you want versus what maybe would
Best
work
for you?
would work better with your because that's also a really weird thing to say, like that, look how good my relationship is. It's what I needed, not what I want. Wow. Don't say that, execute that guy.
So I don't believe that much as other people do in compatibility. I think that that's overblown. I think you're not really compatible with anyone in the sense that everybody's got issues, everybody's difficult, everybody's insecure, everybody's wounded and flawed. So you're going to have to find a way to make things work with anybody. To me, the arranged marriage data is really more a function of, this is just my personal opinion, the fact that in cultures where arranged marriages happen, divorce isn't really an option. So if you go into a marriage knowing this is for life, I think it sets a different mindset. You got to make it work. I also think if it's terrible, it's still not really an option to leave. It's changing a little bit. I don't know that other people are picking better for you so much as that you're not really, you don't really have an exit option.
Wait, does
So
that
the
tie into-
statistics are skewed a little bit by the fact that these people.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Well,
It makes sense.
What about the guilt or the pressure of religion?
Right.
You know?
That's part of it.
Same thing, right?
Exactly.
Well, I would say even in, like maybe some Catholic people I know, where it's like that heat.
Not me, but
heat of like,
Yeah.
Right, and
you don't
if
get divorced.
If you know, it's so true because I grew up very Catholic and my parents were divorced and I did not have one friend with divorced parents, not one. Nor did we have any other divorce in our entire family. So if you go into marriage and divorce is not an option because of your religious beliefs or because of the perceived stigma, whether it's true or not, you might approach that marriage differently. A lot of people today have the option. No one gets married thinking they're going to get a divorce, but I do think most people think, well, if certain things happen, then I wouldn't stay. Right. And that sets a different mindset. I've seen recently too people saying you should have to renew your marriage every 5 years. Otherwise, it just expires. I actually love that idea. What do you think of that?
I've heard about this before.
Like
5
a fishing
years.
license, but I would argue, how many people are
That's pretty
checking my
fast.
license? I'll just do it. I don't need the license. You know what I mean?
I
It's just
think
like
it's
fishing.
a great idea.
Yeah. And
Keeps it top of mind.
although it's the way the government would get more money out of it.
I'm not doing that. Look at my beard. I'm not giving the government more money.
because I gotta pay my damn marriage certificate again. It's like Sunday.
Then I'd forget. Oh my God.
But you might put
I think we've
more
been divorced.
effort.
You're right.
You might put more effort instead of putting it on the back burner if you knew your spouse had to choose you again every few years.
God,
I think you need
love
to
the
see
back
how
burner.
large my back burner is. We're on the same wavelength. I was like, this thing is big.
Yeah.
It's like those big, it's like a hibachi.
You know, I heard, and Daniel read this. I think it was like the People's History when
Howard Zinn.
Yeah, when people came over to
the Native Americans.
Native Americans.
Oh, I love this story.
They treated marriage differently than traditional religious marriage, and
very logical and very. It was in an argumentative state.
It was like couples were together, and then if the guy came back from a hunting trip and all his stuff was outside of his hut, then he knew that his wife was done, and
he
he'd take his
accepted
stuff, and then he just moved to a different.
He accepted it because that was the covenant. That was what you entered into. There was no arguing. There was no fighting or anything. Or if there was something that broke the marriage apart, if she wanted to leave him because
she could,
it was like, you cheated on me, so she would just very adultly put his stuff outside the.
Oh, I love this.
And we've ended the contract.
We're gonna start seeing furniture on the lawn.
Well, she wouldn't destroy it though, and I think that was what was interesting. It was she wouldn't destroy it. She wouldn't like burn it, and I would burn it in a pile.
Vengeance. It's just a simple, accepted
of like, hey, this coupling that we had is not working out, and now we should find another couple and then see if that works. Now, there's something to be said about it being too easy, though, because like things are hard, and sometimes you gotta get past hard situations and not just quit on a relationship. And finding that level of when to quit is the hardest part of a relationship.
You're right.
But it's like there is a healthy aspect of, hey, this isn't working out. Let's go find some other. And like, hey, everything's cool. We're fine. It's just let me find something else. And that seems a lot more healthy than sticking with it till the end or thinking God is going to somehow punish
strike
you.
Down.
Yeah, if you do get like this is for life, even though you're miserable. Like there's it seems to be that is a more natural way. Because society has told us, like, hey, marriage is for life. Your vows till death do us part, and that is kind of an old school way of thinking about it sometimes.
Yeah, but finding the right amount of like almost respect for yourself, for your partner to put into the relationship, that's reasonable enough. Yeah. And you touched on something that I think is important too, like figuring out how long to stick in it. Might be why you go and find a Colette.
Yeah.
Because having somebody else, and that's a hard part for people. Like I'm going to bring somebody else in to help me navigate this and tell me whether or not this is going to work. Yeah. How the hell you say? I'm not going to. Do you see that sometimes where people just, and I'm sure the cliche is the guy is just like, I'm not going to go talk to some lady who's going to tell me I'm bad.
Yeah, I think it's changing, fortunately. But definitely I will have more men in my office saying, like, I'm really here because my wife thinks I should be here, or I don't really want to do this. However, I do have men reaching out for help. And even in the 13 years I've been doing this, I have more men initiating therapy than I used to, which is a positive sign, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Now, let's end, because we only have about 5 minutes left.
Perfect.
Let's end with a non-couple relationship question, because I feel like the show's about relationships. There's tons of different relationship dynamics out there that you all have to navigate. And I thought of this as recently. Now, I'll preface this by saying we do not have that many employees anymore, so it may not be a good the way that I handled it. But let's talk about.
Oh, man, you're going rogue. I don't even know what he's going to say here. This is exciting.
I know. I'm excited too.
Yeah, this is exciting.
The boss-employee relationship.
We struggle with that, sir.
So I know in the past when we had employees, like I wrestled with the fact of like, should I invite this employee over to my house for a party?
To wrestle with. I like to wrestle with my employees. You know, I'm like, hey, take your shirt off. Let's wrestle a little bit.
Like being
inappropriate.
Being friends with your employees or being friends with your boss. It's complicated dynamic, because as the boss, you're like, if this ever comes to a point where I have to fire this person or like discipline this person, it's gonna be way harder being friends with them. And then as the employee, you're like, it would be advantageous to be friends with my boss, because I'll get a raise.
Well, it's easy. Like, to me, it's easy. So it's like you invite the boys to the poker nights, you invite the girls to the pool party for employees. That's easy.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So
I figured it out.
What do you think, Colette? How that relationship dynamic? How do you handle that?
Oh, it's so hard. I mean, I think again, there's got to be boundaries. I think it depends what industry you're in. Is it male, female? You know, is there the power dynamic is what makes it complicated, because you made the point the employee, of course, is going to want to be friends with the boss if possible, because this is a positive. It can be advantageous, but the boss is in a position of power. And if you're the boss, you have to be really mindful of that. One of the hardest situations that I see people dealing with is when they have to be assertive or push back with a boss. It's so difficult, right? It's hard enough to say, to bring up a problem in any relationship.
Yeah.
But when it's your manager, they control your salary, it's really, really difficult for people to assert themselves. And of course, a lot of people have toxic bosses. And that's worse in some ways than even like a toxic romantic relationship, because this person controls your whole ability to support yourself.
Can I give you a different, almost a different, like an inverse of that? Sometimes I felt like, or even feel like, that Tom and I have trouble even having that hard talk with the person working with us, because we're afraid we're going to hurt their feelings.
Yes.
And they might be doing something that maybe we don't even want them to do it that way, but we like that person a lot.
Yeah.
That's why they're here. They're not here because we don't love them or like them.
Yeah.
Of course we love you. Like, that's why you're here. But and then we get into this weird thing where, like, I don't know how to tough talk this person, or and even saying that, I'm making myself uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
Is
I
that
used to
accurate, you
struggle
think?
with that too. When I mean, I'm a company of one now, and I kind of like it that way. But I used to have challenges when I managed people. I had the same thing you're saying, where it would be hard for me to bring up something that was bothering me because I wouldn't want to hurt the person's feelings. You know, people who are really natural leaders, they find that balance well, where they can address an issue without shutting the person down, but make sure they're accountable. I think there's a lot here.
I may have started a ripple. Tracy in our Twitch and YouTube chat room, who does work for us, or with us rather, I'll say, says, "Oh God, what did I do?" Well, you open the door.
It's not
you open the door, so I'm just going to take the opportunity, because I think I'd be a bad boss if I did not. The gift baskets that you make, Tom and I, the Halloween. She makes these little Halloween.
No, I love them, Tracy. Keep giving them to me.
These little
I put them out every Halloween.
Makes these Halloween baskets with all the styrofoam stuff she hot glues in. They just knock it off.
No, she's gonna quit
You
now.
gotta knock it off.
You gotta tell her.
Yeah, I put my foot down. I put my foot. No, Tracy, we love everything about you.
Yeah, business doesn't mix well with emotion.
No.
But it's hard because it's like Michael Scott said, business is the most personal thing in the world. you know, like,
well, every
know,
morning I see two different attorney commercials when I'm on my Peloton, and this is interesting because it's their approach, and it's you and I. There's one guy that's like, he's like, we're gonna fight hard, we're gonna do it for you, we're gonna take that insurance company and flush them down the toilet, and they're all crazy. And then there's another one where it's a woman, and she's like, what does she say? She's like,
voice.
yeah, we put the personality back into law, and it's personal to us. And, we're going to fight for you, but we care about you first. And I'm like, oh my God, it's completely, absolutely different approach. And they're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Exactly the same thing.
Yeah. Well, they know who they're marketing to.
Yeah, and I like the lady. I like when she says, "Oh, let's make this law personal." I'm like, "That's my guy."
I like the business.
Because you're more emotional. You're right. Exactly.
That's how it works.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think that's it today. Colette, let's talk about your book real quick and your podcast, so people can listen to it.
Yes, my podcast, Insights from the Couch, Real Talk for Women at Midlife, is available wherever you listen. And my book, The Cost of Quiet, How to Have the Hard Conversations that Lead to Secure, Lasting Love, is available for pre-order on Amazon. You can also find it on my website, ColetteJaneFair.com.
And if you have a question for us, you can email us at hello@lovethyneighbor.com.
Love Thy Neighbor Show.
Oh, lovethyneighborshow.com. And or you could leave a voicemail at our regular telephone number.
Yeah, the old 1-866-TOM, the letter N, Dan. You can always call that and leave a voicemail message for Colette. We do have some other emails that we didn't get to, guys. We will try our hardest to answer your questions and get them in front of Colette.
Yep, absolutely. All right, guys, we will see you next week.
Oh, I really like that one. I thought that was a damn banger.
Yes, and I have so many even thoughts based on what we talked about today for other things.
I know, Anna.
You know?
These things spiral out of control. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good.
It got hot in here, though. Can you go crank that air?
It did
Sorry.
get hot.
The stupid, and this computer lately has just been poofing hot air right in my legs. I'm like, please stop.
So listen, also next
Oh, did we get you out of here in time?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, this is perfect. That's why I'm gonna run just because I want to
Yeah,
get in
yeah.
there before my clients.
Do your thing.
But another possible thing we could talk about. I am going for the weekend to Kentucky with my husband's mother's 90th birthday and his kids. We could talk about blended family dynamics.
That's a good one. We have a lot of listeners that have that.
And it sucks. And what I probably will mitigate the way I say on air, I hate my husband's mother.
No, hold on. We're still on Twitch and YouTube. Okay. Yeah. We are. Sorry. But that's not true. She does. That's not. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, she's just joking around. She's being crazy like Dan.
All right, so
She took her Dan's pills. Yeah. She took her Dan's pills.
Okay, that's okay. She won't listen to the show, so we're good. All right, so lots more to talk.
All right, guys. Let me get rid of this.
Or whatever. We can, yeah. We didn't even get to the body count thing.
No, but we will.
So let's
We'll
keep
get
a
there.
running list of things.
Yeah, I've been putting them in my phone, so I'll try and keep up with it.
Yeah. And then will you send me whatever updated you said on the phone number and the email?
Yes.
So I have
Yep.
that.
I will send you that this
Also,
afternoon.
whatever clip you posted, I don't think I'm getting collabed in on the clips.
Okay. I'll mention it to Melissa.
Yeah, make sure, because I want to make sure I promote it on my stuff too.
Yeah, well, that was just a mistake, probably. Melissa did.
Yeah, that's okay.
We'll figure all
Just
that
maybe
stuff out.
remind her so that I can make sure it's on mine
100%.
too.
I'll tell her to make you a collaborator and everything.
Perfect. And I will see you next Thursday.
Yes, ma'am.
To report on my mother-in-law, who I love to bring.
Yeah. My favorite person in the world. Yeah. See ya.
Right? It's like always assume the mic is on.
Yeah.
It's just because with the recorder.
No, it's all good. I'm an open book.
All right, cool.
All right,
See ya.
See ya. That was a good show, dude.
Yeah, it was
Really good one. Are we still continuing? Or is that...
we can actually do that.
Yeah, well, you want to knock out that little piece?
That little piece for.
Yeah, because we're warm now, and... Yeah, your advice was actually really good, dude. Oh, my God. I can't wait to see it, Tracy. I was messing around. You know my kid loves all that shit. I'm not anti that. Most of my negativity is fake. I'll say it right now. Anytime you really hear me digging hard on something, most of you guys, if you've listened to me for a long time, probably know what I really like and what I don't. And I do love some damn Halloween crafts. Oh, did you? Okay, I'll ask her about it. Maisie finally picked a Halloween costume that I approve, but it could very well be like a little too spicy. I'm trying to change this picture. Oh, wow, that's great. That's fantastic. That's more centerpiece. You're going more centerpiece action this year. I see what you're doing. My daughter finally picked a decent Halloween costume, but it's maybe a little too spicy.
Okay, well, let's talk about it. This will be Monday.
All right.
Monday 1.
Monday 1. All right. Because it's just in passing, so this would be perfect.
Okay.
And how much did we need? Just a 20? Is that what we're doing, or?
No, we need more. I think.
Do we already have? What is it?
Yeah,
What's the 13th? No.
The 2 was
What date is that?
Pinball Dudes. It's Monday the what day is
13th.
today? 13th. Monday the 13th. We got 3 and 4. And
We need
and
27.
27. Yeah.
27.
So we're about 30 minutes.
So yeah, we can do that. Plus, we can start with that, and then I have a lot of emails. I have the Palisades Fire thing I want to bring up. Let's start with the Palisades Fire.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. And I also got that story. Did you see that story about the skydiver that jumped with a student, and then he fell. And then when the student lived, I talked to Andy, and Andy's like, at first he thought it was suicide, because he's like, there's no way to fall out of your straps. So
And I believe Andy.
Yeah, no, he's like, it's impossible to become disconnected from your student.
Yeah, like why
if
would
you
why,
are properly
why would
connected.
it be possible?
And then
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So then he's got a
Let me use the
theory.
bathroom real fast.
Yeah.
Oh, let's talk about that. Unless you wanted to save that and talk to Andy about it.
And maybe as things progress, because as of right now, no one knows what happened. Are you there, Twitch? The screen's not up, so I can't see any of the comments. I think you're there, or I'm talking to myself.
All right. You want to start with the skydive guy or fire?
Let's start with the Palisades fire.
Okay. All right.
And then we could talk about Theo Vaughn too.
Oh yeah. Let me.
Because I something like it's a nothing. Made some random comment.
What did he do? What's the story?
It was just like Theo Vaughn's said he is trying not to kill himself, and then everybody goes crazy.
Yeah, well, I was more than that because it was also like he wasn't finishing jokes correctly.
Oh, his show, his
Yeah,
show is
yeah.
different, yeah.
Well, that's what he said though. That was at the show.
Yeah, no, yeah,
At the
yeah.
clip.
Yeah, and then he came out with he said that he stopped taking his like SSRI medication.
Oh, I didn't know any of that.
because he started talking about it on his podcast.
Okay. All right. Would you like to start?
Yeah.
Here we go. In 3, 2.
Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on Twitch. We are live on YouTube. Come on over and hang out with us. We would love to see you. And just search on YouTube, search on Twitch at Tom and Dan Live.
So, what about this Palisades fire?
Well, I just kind of have a little bit of a gripe with it because if you do any Googling on the Palisades fire, you'll realize that they found the gentleman that they claim started the Palisades fire
On purpose, he arsony.
Yeah.
All right.
Let me get my details here. And what's interesting about it is everywhere you look, they keep saying Florida man, Florida man, it's a Florida man, it's a Florida man. Florida man started the fire, Florida. And this guy, I think he was born in the middle of the U.S. He was living in California for 2 years at the time in an apartment complex, Ubering, doing Uber Eats. He's a California man. He's not a Florida man. You got to knock that off. Just because he's here now and you couldn't catch him and he moved doesn't make him a Florida man.
Oh, so he moved to Florida, and then
Yeah.
that's where they caught him, and then you're right. He was living in California when he started the
If
fire.
you're living in California, when you start doing the fires and you're working there, he's working at an apartment complex. And I think he lived there for 2 years based on research that I did. Then you're a California man.
Yeah. But
If you up and move from California, so California man started the Palisades fire. It's
not as good as clickbait.
But thank you.
Everything's clickbait.
It's an element of frame. It's an element of clickbait. It's fake. It's not a Florida man. He owns a house here now, and yeah, he's going to go to trial this morning, or at least his first appearance, I think, is in Orlando. But I do not believe that's accurate. That is not you just said that because
accurate. That doesn't mean nothing now.
I know. But it does bother me when I hear that because I'm like, oh, there was a Florida guy. I was like, well, that sucks. And then I started drumming up this whole thing, like maybe he some people do this thing where they're like, oh, my buddy's going to go up to Chicago and Uber for a couple months because you can make more money doing it there, and then move back. But I don't think that's what happened. He was living there for years. California man.
Yeah. Well, it just goes to show you every headline you read you have to take with a grain of salt because
Well, this was
you
on the
have no
Today
idea.
Show. I forget the Craig, whatever the good-looking black guy, the anchor.
Yeah.
And they're just hitting you over the head with Florida man. I'm like, no, I don't. That's not. You gotta stop that. Like this is. Well, then why do I even watch the news? And why do I even read the news? If it's just gonna be.
That's what I
inaccurate.
tell you.
Yeah. I like to be informed, though. It's kind of the way I've always been. But anyway, yeah, there's my take on the Palisades fire. Real bad, though, man. Real bad fire. They also, if to make matters worse, when they did the first press conference and they're going to, they keep saying, oh, we're going to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that this guy caused the Palisades fire. The worst thing you can find on your phone when they take your phone, what do you think it is? Worst thing you can find on an arsonist phone.
Okay, hold on. Let me just try to guess this.
Yeah.
All right. Is it?
You got to think like with a perverted arsonist brain.
Okay. Perverted.
But not
arsonist.
necessarily sexual, but perverted arsonist.
Well, I was like video of the actual fire he started.
Close. Close.
Like,
I think what he did is even creepier than having. If he had video of the fire he started, that's creepy. But what's creepier than that is if he uses AI to repeatedly create images of millions of people running from a fire. Like he's using AI to create photos of what he did or what he wants to do. He's making his own arson porno. He's making fire porno.
Yeah, this guy's mentally ill.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He is.
And
which brings me back to maybe he is a Florida man.
Yeah.
Maybe he is. Maybe I was wrong on that. But I thought that was pretty funny that they put the images up. They put like 6 of his images up, and it's like a whole side of a forest on fire, and then all these EMS like driving, and people are like running for their lives, and these are all he made those with AI and then saved them to what masturbate later.
Well, it shows intent. It shows that he wants the chaos. Because there's different, to me, it's different types of arson, right? There's arsonists that want to create mass chaos and property damage and people to be running from their lives.
Right, like a power thing.
Like that's what they want. And I'm sure it's on a spectrum. There's arsonists that start a fire, they don't even know why, and then it got out of control, and then it ends up burning down 1 million acres and houses and stuff. And it's like, well, I didn't want all this chaos to happen. I just started this fire. So it's different intent, and in this guy's intent, obviously he wanted the chaos. He wanted the death and destruction.
That's what it seems like. They have the records. Apparently he drove his Uber. He Ubered over to like a trailhead, no different than what you and your family would go to when you're enjoying a nice park or something.
Oh.
And he found the trail and he set like a little area on fire. And then they claimed that he tried to call 911 a couple of times, but in the area he was at, there was no cellular service. So it may appear like he was trying to fix his problem, but then it just,
it got out of control. But then the fact that you have AI images of people running from fire, and then why do you have
nothing good?
Yeah, it's just like, okay, well, it's hard for me to believe that you didn't want this to happen when the porno that you made yourself.
You made fire porno, man.
It's all
Lots
over your
of
phone.
It.
It's
Lots
like
of it.
you have a mental illness and you need to be shielded from society.
There was also a search he had. I forget what the search. It was like they always get you with the search. Your search, how bad is it if I burn down all of the Palisades? That's in his computer. Oh God, that's not good.
Yeah, and with all the First 48 and all these documentaries about murder and criminal investigation and them finding all the search results in your phone, people still do it.
I have a theory on that.
Because you don't know that you're going to eventually do it when you're like, how to kill your wife. You're curious.
I have a theory on that, though. That's because a lot of these technological, let's say, fingerprints, footsteps, feet print in the sand.
Breadcrumbs.
The breadcrumbs. A lot of your digital breadcrumbs, I believe that's a new thing. And even though we've been using it for, like me, 49 years old, I've been using Twitter since, my wife got me on day one. Facebook, all of that. It's still relatively new to me, I think, evolutionarily. So there's a weird thing where I think, when you're going to do something, sinister, I don't know if you remember all the steps.
Oh, yeah. You
There's
don't
no
even
way.
remember Googling people use it all so much, so often, it's the subconscious. And you're Googling a question.
Let me ask you a question, seriously. Have you switched over yet to ChatGPT? Because a lot of the articles I'm reading now is that ChatGPT, what are the other ones? You've got Grok, you've got the one my wife uses for her company. It's the I think she might use Gemini or or like there's tons of them, right?
Yeah.
Have you switched over Gemini? Yeah. Have you switched over to using an AI assistant for your Google typed searches, to use Google as a Kleenex word, you know?
Yeah.
For your web searches.
No, I still use Google like an old man, and then
I'm fully GPT all the time.
Yeah, no, you are. And then I really agree with, and I think ChatGPT is good. I'm old when it comes to technology, so Crystal uses it, you use it.
Yeah.
I'll ask you to use it and then send me the results.
Yeah,
I could easily.
That's very old man. I like that.
I could easily.
And why do you make me write them out on a piece of paper in with a handwriting?
I could get it myself and use it myself. I just don't, for whatever reason.
It usually takes you a little. No, this is you.
I haven't
man.
adopted it.
I'm not even upset about this because this is you. This is like when we switched to Google Calendar. I mean, you're not into the new thing. You don't need it.
And I want to have my sons get familiar with AI because I think it's going to be heavily utilized, especially in their generation. I mean, it's already now, but I just haven't done it myself. I'm too close.
I need to get an invite code, and maybe SJ or somebody in the chat room can help me. But I did a little digging yesterday, and this will be the last little rant on AI before we go to something else. But Sora 2 came out. And I was watching iJustine. Remember iJustine, the influencer that covers a lot of Mac stuff and Apple stuff?
Okay.
She was using it, and it is very interesting how they are kind of leveraging Sora 2. And I'm going to paraphrase a lot of this, but almost as a social media platform, and I think you'll understand what I mean. So you go into Sora 2. You read a series of numbers, and you take a series of video of like your face and everything.
Yeah.
And because you've read these numbers and you've videoed yourself, it will make a almost identical copy of you, voice and look, just by reading the numbers. And then it will implement you into a bunch of different videos. You can start making yourself do all kinds of crazy stuff. Here's the hook. On the Sora 2 app, you share it. It is your personality. Other people can start collaborating with you. So if you have the Tom Van, a Mediocre Time account, and you have your avatar in there, and let's say you're snowboarding, I could partner like one of your friends. I could grab your avatar and my avatar and then use you in my AI video. Since you see the social media component now?
Okay.
So now I'm using fake you in my videos, but it's all on the Sora 2 app. It's not real life, and they make no bones about the fact that this is just an AI social media tool, but they're trying to make it like this playground where, you can do all kinds of stuff, and then you can usher in other avatars. So theoretically, if I get a code, I can make my avatar, make your avatar, and then we could make AI videos together that sound exactly like us, and there will be no need for us to do the show anymore.
Hey, I guess it just depends on if the AI versions of yourself are more popular. I mean, we've gone over it so many times. Is the AI generated content more popular than the human generated content? Are AI personalities, like, do people want to listen to it more than the real life Tom?
Probably not. No, it's
now,
just
who
another...
knows? Maybe in a certain amount of time it will be, and then at that point, then I guess it's the singularity that I guess people are predicting, or it's like technology takes over the role of human beings.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
that's what everybody's worried about, is whether it happened. We'll see it. Maybe.
It's a coming.
Yeah. Maybe we're too old, to see it. Maybe our kids will see it, or we'll see how it fleshes out.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting, though, that the ability to pull other people in and collaborate with them in the AI space off of this AI model that you've built is pretty impressive. And I was watching some of her videos, and whereas they don't look perfect and you can tell they're AI, they are truly unique because she's doing crazy stuff, like flying into space, standing on the sun. It's kind of, and Big Doug said this in our chat room, it's sort of like a way advanced jib jab. Do you remember the jib jab postcards that you could cut your face out and put them, and they'd make you dance, and for like holidays and stuff?
Okay.
They do them for Christmas. They do them for like, St. Patrick's Day and stuff. It is just a better version of that. So there are different ways of looking at it. You can look at it like it's an innocent, better version of jib jab, or you can look like it's a soul-sucking, essence-stealing into the world.
Yeah.
What will happen? I guess we'll, like Tom said,
we'll find out.
I don't know. You want to do a couple voicemails?
Yeah, let's do
right.
something.
Let's try this one right here.
Dan, Don't let Tom bully you about camping in your Tesla. That sounds awesome. I camped in my Tesla in my driveway. The car was plugged into my house, and I slept in the back. I just folded the seats back or down, and I slept with my feet in the trunk. And I had the same car that you do, and it was awesome in camp mode. I just wanted to try it out, So, Tom, you need to live a little, man. Go out there and camp in your truck. Go to a Walmart parking lot, get drunk, watch TikTok, and just try it.
That does sound kind of fun. I mean, just sitting in your truck, drinking beer, watching TikTok.
Well, get ready for me to bully you, sir. Because if you're telling me that living is sleeping in your car in the driveway, then I guess I'm living wrong. Because to me, that's a punishment. And right before you get divorced, is your wife making you sleep in your car or couch or whatever. I don't know. I cannot see one interesting thing about that. I could see sleeping with your, kids and family in your car.
Well,
whatever.
I'm testing it out for eventually taking Maisie, but the initial one, I'm not going to take her because, I don't want to subject her to that.
Yeah, but I could imagine, what it's like sleeping in your car, and it just does not seem comfortable at all.
But sometimes you, though, you think that you can imagine everything, which makes you do nothing.
Well, I do.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Only interesting things.
Well, to you.
I think it's universal.
To you. I don't think any of your plans are interesting. Any of your gambling is the dumbest stuff I've ever seen in my life. Oh my God, the gambling is so uninteresting.
It helps me figure out It helps me figure out markets. The world is
ruled. That's what I say about porno. It helps me figure out women.
No, that's not. That's a fantasy life. Listen. I'm like talking to a computer. Ask ChatGPT if let's ask ChatGPT if sleeping in your car in your driveway is good, or is interesting at all.
Your car. All right, hold on. Is sleeping in my Tesla in my driveway good? Because that's the way you said it. I think that'd be a funnier answer, honestly. Let me see what it says here. It's giving me some sort of an answer. He's giving a big. This answer is way too large for.
Stupid ChatGPT. You don't know either.
I think this,
Only I know.
I think this is gonna make you mad. Here we go. It'll fire up here in a second. I think it's loading.
Yeah, sleeping in your Tesla in the driveway can actually be pretty great as long as you set it up right. Here's the deal: pros, climate control. Use camp mode. It keeps the air on all night without draining too much battery. Comfort. The seats fold down pretty flat, especially in a Model 3 with a mattress pad.
That's what I have.
And with window shades, it's dark and quiet.
That's what I have.
Safe location. You're on your own property.
Okay, you want to
so can I yell at ChatGPT?
Yeah, you do. This is your show,
bully
man.
GPT.
Yeah, you can bully the GPT.
Yeah, you know what's more comfortable? Your bed, 20 feet away from, and your house that has AC too. Yeah, if your Tesla is more comfortable than the bed you sleep in every night, then you have your priorities are messed up.
It's about a different experience, though. It's about doing something different just to test yourself, or do something interesting, or just doing something
I know putting yourself through
a little unique.
Listen,
I told him you yelled at him and said he was stupid. Let's see what he says. I mean, this is a good dynamic we have here on the show.
All right, picture this. Tom's standing there, red-faced, yelling, "Why the hell are you sleeping in the damn car, Dan? You have a bed! A bed inside! Like a human."
He's screaming.
And you're just calmly reclining in the Tesla, seat laid back, AC humming, mood lighting on, sipping a cold seltzer like, "Yeah, but my bed doesn't have a touchscreen climate system or ambient jazz mode, Tom. Also, my bed can't charge my phone, make fart sounds, and keep mosquitoes out. So, maybe chill."
What the hell are you talking about? Keep mosquitoes out? Everybody's got a phone charger. What the hell are you talking about, ChatGPT?
And when did I change my GPT to an old British man? I never changed that.
No, the truth is you do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, do whatever you want. It's just more fun to bitch about it. You guys know how the show goes. Jesus Christ.
Even though everybody agrees with me that it's crazy. All right, thank you.
You know what, let's do this right here. Yeah, this is a good one. Update. This is one of the hottest topics we've had. Nudity, accidental nudity in movies for your sons.
Okay.
Let's find it.
Tom and Dan, BDM Jeff, listening to last week's Nerd Jock with EJ. Tom wants to show his boys a movie where some ladies show their teeth. 80s classic. Always makes me think something you couldn't get away with today. Revenge of the Nerds. Let's see how that goes.
He didn't sound confident,
Okay,
really. But
by the way, you have the worst phone I've ever heard.
well,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
it just sounded like a potato. Revenge of the Nerds. A damn fine. That's 80s, right? 80s classic.
Yeah,
83. What are we doing on Revenge of the Nerds?
So there are very few movies that have stuck in my head, but the Revenge of the Nerds scene, and I don't even know which one this is, but I can remember this, and I remembered fantasizing about this when I was a kid.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
Is when the nerd somehow ends up in some sort of bounce house.
Is it Booger? Is the nerd Booger?
No, I don't know. Booger's the jock nerd, right? The
Nerd
big,
jock. You should have said nerd jock. You missed a great opportunity to say nerd jock there. And then we could have bullied EJ.
But anyway, the nerd, I guess the main character nerd, ends up in a bounce house with some hot chick.
Oh, yes. Wait, then, that's the Long Duck Dong, isn't it?
I don't know. I haven't seen it in so long that I don't think I've seen it since I was a kid, but I remember the scene seared into my young Tom Van mind where he ends up like rolling around in the bounce house with this chick, and then she may get topless. I can't remember.
No, I think he does. He does it.
Yeah, he does. I remember. And by the way, if it was the 80s.
16 Candles was Long Duck Dong, somebody's telling me. Because, I remember there was a scene in that, because a Long Duck Dong is an Asian nerd man or exchange student, and he says something that you can't say, and me and my buddy Dave would scream it all the time. We were like, Donger need the food, because he was hungry, because he's so hungry, and they called him Donger. He's like, the Donger need the food, and we would yell that. I yelled that in the DeLand Burger King. I yelled Donger need food in the DeLand. It's still there, the Burger King. If you're on Woodland in DeLand, go into the DeLand Burger King and yell, Donger need food as loud as you can, and I'll give you a prize. You got to video yourself doing it, though. You got to video yourself doing it.
Oh, the 80s are so much better.
In this
Donger need food.
I'm glad this is what we agree on. Cross the aisle. Let's agree. This movie includes several scenes of female nudity, typical of 1980s sex comedies. Is that what these were called? Sex comedies? Coming-of-age sex comedies?
Yeah.
There's a shower scene where the nerds secretly install cameras in the Phi Delta Phi sorority house, or Pi Delta Pi sorority house, and some of the women, full frontal nudity, shown briefly. Full frontal.
I don't think kids these days are as horny as me and you were.
That's what I said. I said that a couple of weeks ago. People get mad when you say that because they're like, yeah, they are. They're still. I'm like, nah, dude.
I don't think there's horny.
Not like me. As a 49-year-old man, I'm more horny than a teen boy right now.
Yeah, but as a teen boy, I was horny.
That's
I would have done anything.
I've been telling a lot of our listeners to get there, we're talking 12, 13, 14 years old, to go see Dr. Powers, because these kids' testosterone is so low. We have problems. We got some problems.
I know this is not right. Hold on.
That was a joke, by the way.
I know this is not acceptable to say. Get ready for
well,
it.
this could be anything.
And this is
Is this a hot take alert? Hold on.
Every professional would disagree, and it's even hard for me to say as having, a 10 and 11-year-old sons, because I can, even if I put this situation into my son's reality, I could understand how I would think.
You're muddy in the waters a little bit. Also. There's a lot of words floating here, man.
It takes a lot of words to say what I'm going to say.
Okay.
But every time I see a story, and this is not going to be popular. This is not going to be popular, and I understand how wrong it is for me to say. And
You're having a stroke.
Every time I see a story about can
I guess it?
A young teacher that has inappropriate behavior with middle school boys.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. I have a middle school boy. I understand.
Yeah, you do.
Like,
Well,
I'd
that
be
makes
like,
you. That, I think that makes you legally allowed to speak on this matter.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
like
I
gun
understand
owners,
how
it's like gun owners talking about this.
and
You know,
adults and that relationship, and it's totally inappropriate or whatever. But every time I see it, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm being completely honest. I don't know what else to say, and it makes me a monster. But I look at it.
that doesn't make you a monster. It just makes you want your sons to have
I don't
make
even
love.
want
Okay.
I don't even want that. But but I imagine me. I remembered me being in middle school.
And you had a
Because
fantasy of this.
Yeah, you had a fantasy about this.
Because they're real fantasies.
And I still 100% believe that I would want that when middle school.
I still have
even
that fantasy.
to what I know today.
Well,
and
what
I
you're
can't
speaking
get it
is-
out of my head.
No, what you're speaking is correct. I still have a vivid memory of my geometry teacher. I know exactly.
Yeah.
I could draw her if I knew how to draw. I could draw her perfectly. She was really, really hot, and I had a crush on her. And yes, there was a seduced fantasy within my tiny teen brain.
I wish he would molest me.
Well, that's not what I would say because I didn't know what molestation was, but I'd be like, yeah, I would like for her to kiss me after hours and lock the portable door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't get it out of my head. I'm
Okay.
just telling you
That's fair.
my truth inside my
On
heart.
the radio.
On the radio. And, I apologize. And,
It's fine. It's fine.
you know, whatever. I don't know.
I think that's good. There's a costume party scene where a character disguises himself and sleeps with another under false pretenses. So that's kind of bad, right? Where you pretend to be the boyfriend and you're not the boyfriend. And so you're essentially raping the person. That's real bad.
Yeah.
That's a real bad.
It is real bad. You know, but this was in the 80s, and this is how we grew up. It's probably why I think this way.
ChatGPT, man, they put so many safeguards in this. They have to explain cultural context at the bottom, which I don't know who said they had to do that, but it says back in the 80s, this kind of humor was standard in movies like Porky's or Animal House. Today, a lot of sexual elements are viewed as highly problematic or exploitative. Despite that, the movie's message about outcasts finding confidence still resonates, though modern viewers don't like any of the ethics.
Yeah. That's why the 80s should stay in the 80s, but it's in our hearts. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
I keep it in my heart.
Based, I mean, you can hear it in my opinions of the world.
I definitely keep it in my heart.
And
but yeah,
I think it's
Porky's-
in our listeners' hearts.
I thought about it, and I thought about the other. I was trying to think of the other movie that, other than Monty Python, where he's Life of Brian, I think, is where he's being chased by the topless women on roller skates.
Yeah,
that one literally made me a man. Like that was like I was like, well, I'm into that.
Yeah, I wish I was chased.
And they had big asses, like, and they had on that '70s style. Because Monty Python, I'm older than you. I'm the old man.
Yeah.
But they had that old school, like shiny satin, piped with white. Piping shiny satin roller girl shorts on a big ass.
Yeah, booty shorts.
If you don't like roller derby booty shorts satin on a big ass, don't ever talk to me. if you're not into that, don't ever talk to me.
Yeah. Everybody's into that.
Everybody's into that.
Who's gonna say like, nah, I don't
Not
like
for me.
it.
Then I'm not for you. Then don't never talk to me, because that literally was one of the greatest scenes in cinema history. But I was trying to think of the other one, and I honestly cannot come up with it. It's an action movie. It's definitely an action movie. It was definitely a Chuck Norris flick, but I don't remember which one it was. But it was Chuck, and it was boobs.
You know, now that I think about it,
Your kids aren't into karate movies?
No, well, I mean, they're anime. That's all they watch is hardcore, violent anime. There's karate in that.
Were the karate movies that my dad watched with me the anime? Like, is that like the new anime?
They don't,
because they don't do a lot of action movies. My point is, like in the 80s,
live action. They
were
don't watch
pumping
any
out
live action at all.
Well, my point is, they were pumping out, like, you could go to the video store, you know, in the 80s and get 3 new action movies, low budget, you know, Delta Force, you know, Commando. Yeah. But there are tons of them. So what's the new action? Is there something? It's got to be anime or cartoons.
See, it's all just like everything. Everything's spread out. Because I asked Tommy the other day, I'm like, oh, do you talk anime with your friends? Because he watches anime every morning. It's bad, I think. But he wakes up, he sets his alarm, he wakes up, and he starts watching it. Like, hour and a half
Most
of anime.
pediatricians say start your day with 3 beheadings. Supposed to start your day with a bowl of sugar cereal and 3 Japanese beheadings a day.
And then Crystal, she cries about it. She's like, this is the worst. It haunts me every day.
The anime goes?
No, just the fact that he wakes up and watches TV in the morning.
Well, just tell him not to do it.
He likes it so much. Also, I can't.
Well, I like crack, but I wish somebody tell me to stop smoking it.
Well, the other problem is I don't even know how bad it is. Waking up and watching TV is is this so bad that I should tell him to stop doing it? If he I don't know. So he just does it. Anyway.
Yeah, as long as you're talking to him about what he sees.
Yeah, well,
I don't really know if there's a problem.
It's not much. Well, I have no idea. Anyway, I don't know what he's watching, to be honest.
That's a problem, but we'll move on.
I'm cooking his breakfast, stressed out. Anyway, so I asked him, I was like, do you talk to your friends about anime? Because he's on episode 600 of One Piece or whatever.
Good for that's different. One Piece is fine.
Okay, what is that kind of thing?
It's got fighting and stuff in it, but it's not like the other one. The other one that you went to is a little aggressive.
Demon Hunters.
One Piece is great.
Yeah, One Piece. So, and then he's like, my friends at school don't watch anime. I'm like, what do I watch? And he's like, some watch this. It's all spread out because there's too many options. It's not like we only had Darkwing Duck.
Yeah.
So
everything's diluted.
Are you watching Darkwing Duck or this or whatever the hell?
Yeah.
It's like there's only 5 options as kids. And now
we had DuckTales or nothing.
There's 200 and everybody picks what they like.
Plus the internet, I talk to some kids, they don't even watch TV. Maisie honestly is not a TV kid. She watches Dancing with the Stars now because obviously dancing, right? That's all you need. All I needed to say. Plus, she likes the pageantry of Dancing with the Stars and the live band aspect of it. And that's really cool. Other than that, most of the time would be screen. You see what I'm saying? No, it's not like she's watching serialized TV or anything. She'll be on her talking to her friends just like they do.
Yeah.
I think TV time has been stolen by, screen time or computer time or friend texting time.
There's a million different options, so you could do whatever you want. Anyway, all right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with more corporate time.
Perfect. That's lunch?
Yeah, that's lunch.
All right. Guys, that was fun. Hey, Jackie, what's up? Oh, glad you liked the collaboration. Very cool. Thanks for watching. Very good to see you.
All right, so we will be back on Twitch at 1 with Joey Mazant, and we're going to talk about Starlight Racers.
Stardust.
Or whatever it is.
So disrespectful.
Then we're also going to talk about that I didn't know existed, that there's a local guy in town that has some sort of exclusive rights to buy up all old theme park roller coasters and stuff like that.
Oh, we're gonna talk about
and
that.
then resells
awesome.
it.
Yeah,
but
it's
it's bizarre to me because I'm like, does he put it? He's like, no, it's first come first serve and some weird. It's